All right, welcome to our newest podcast. This is Josh.
This is podcast number 2, you sons of bitches.
That's David. We are going to talk about, well, we're huge film fanatics, obviously. And today we want to talk about
Friday the 13th.
And more specifically, rating the different films. Me and David, we agree some, but we disagree a lot.
Okay, first off, that needs to be prefaced. I confuse Friday the 13th Part 2 with Friday the 13th Part 3.
Sure.
Apparently for like 20 years, I confuse the two.
Well, Part 2, he has a burlap bag over his face. Yeah. He gets the hockey mask.
Burlap.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
He gets the hockey mask in Part 3.
Yeah.
Which is iconic. But interestingly, Part 3 is, and now you agree with me, right?
Total and complete dog shit.
First of all, there's no boobs.
There's no anything. There's no dialogue. There's no boobs. I will give filmmakers credit because they came up with some interesting shots for 3D. And for all of you that don't know, whenever 3D movies first came out in the early 80s, early to mid 80s, directors...
Well, they had it before that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not before
There was like
that.
a renaissance in the early 80s.
What was the first genre?
Well, in the 50s.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Like,
Yeah, okay.
Dial in for Murder.
Okay. During the 80s renaissance of 3D movies, directors would come up with specific shots in which they would showcase how it's 3D.
Not
Jaws,
clever. Usually not
Not
very
clever in any way.
No.
Completely set up, completely deliberate. Jaws 3D
Oh.
came up with a lot of them horrible.
It's still better than Jaws the Revenge.
Jaws of Revenge is so bad.
It's
The
really,
fucking shark goes to the Caribbean and follows the... Seriously?
Yeah,
Who
like
comes
he,
up
has
with that?
he doesn't have an axe to grind. He's a shark.
Apparently he did in Jaws the Revenge.
Oh, it's bad.
It's so bad.
It's famously bad.
That is so fucking bad. Okay, guys, sorry. There's Phantasm 2 is on in the background, and they're doing that 18 montage where they create all the weapons to get rid of the tall guy and all the dwarf minions.
By the way, David, I'm sorry. You haven't seen Bubba Hotep?
Nope.
That is insane.
Nor will I. Josh, they're literally, kebabbing 4 shotguns together.
It's a masterpiece.
Oh my god, this
By
movie
any
is so
standard
awesome.
of filmmaking. But let's stay on task.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Now, we agree 3 is the worst, right?
3 is the worst.
3 is the worst. Which would you say is the second worst? We're not talking about the remake.
It's a tie to Jason Goes to Manhattan and or Jason Goes to Space. So I guess that's 8 and 10? Or is that 7 and 9?
That would be 8 and 10. Yeah, because Jason X is Jason in Space.
Okay.
So 10.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think 6 is the worst. Jason Lives.
Why?
1, it's just not a very entertaining movie. Also, no tits. If you're and I'm not meaning this in a misogynistic way at all. I'm just saying
a horror movie needs tits.
You make a Western, you got to have horses. You
Yeah.
make a Friday the 13th, you got to have tits.
Yeah, and fucking.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to be punished for the fucking.
Yeah, which is what we learned from Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Also, Part 6 has, they've reopened Camp Crystal Lake by that point with actual children at the camp.
Huge plot hole.
And it's like, no, Jason, no. And then you paint yourself in a corner because either Jason kills little kids, which he never did. He always killed teenagers.
Yeah, who were fucking while he died.
Or you don't kill him, which makes him look like a wimp.
You know, wait, okay. First off, show of hands, guys. Who has not seen or understands Friday the 13th beyond the reboot? Because we don't count that because it sucks.
It's not canon.
Okay, so all of you with your hands up. Friday the 13th is about Jason Voorhees. And I guess...
Well, Part 1 is about Jason's mom.
Which makes it a great horror movie.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Jason Voorhees is a kid at a summer camp. And he's off swimming and lollying in the water.
And he's a mongoloid.
And he's a... Well, no.
He's got a deformity of some sort.
Well, he has a deformity later on. I just assume he's a normal kid.
Well, they established later on that, no, he wasn't a normal kid. He was mentally or physically disabled.
Is that why he was swimming alone?
He was swimming alone because the camp counselors were fucking.
We're busy fucking. And their eternal punishment for fucking while Jason was drowning is to get whacked. So, Friday the 13th, the first movie, is about Jason's mother getting revenge for her son on all of any camp counselors.
And it's also very feminist empowering because it's a female serial killer.
Yeah,
then the final girl.
It's really empowering.
Stops
until she gets her head whacked off.
What's important? Oh, Jason's mom. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Friday the 13th Part 2 picks up where obviously the headless mom is headless and not alive, But Jason,
we're still in the logic of the movies. Nothing is supernatural. Everything is realistic.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
It's realistic that Jason's been living in the woods for the entirety of his non-drowning life. But it's not. You're right, Josh. It's not supernatural.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not crazy. It's not fantastical of lightning bolts bringing his reanimated corpse. But Friday the 13th Part 2, my personal favorite. Jason Burlap Bag is now getting revenge and killing more camp counselors. Friday the 13th Part 3 is interesting in that it's an hour and 28 minutes, and the only good thing about it is...
It ends.
Jason, I was going to say Jason gets his mask.
Jason gets his mask, which is iconic. And it's interesting. It doesn't happen to Part 3.
Which is kind of curious as to why it's so iconic. Like, why it's so bred into... Why everyone is scared shitless of a hockey mask, except for, hockey players.
Can I back up to Part 2 for real quick? I just want
Please.
to get Part 2, I also like Part 2 a lot. I like Part 1, Part 2 a lot. I've had a lot of people argue the final girl in Part 1, whose name I forget, gets killed.
Amy. So, yeah, she gets whacked early on.
She gets killed at the beginning of Part 1.
Uh-huh.
And that is a huge controversy.
She gets killed early in Part 2.
I misspoke. Thank you, David. She gets killed at the beginning of Part 2. And a lot of horror fans are like, why did she get killed? She's the final girl that kind of breaks the rule.
Because fuck the rules.
Well, fuck the rules. And she killed Jason's mom. That throws the rules out the board.
Well, a better question is, so Jason, who's been living, I guess, in the woods of Crystal Lake.
Evidently.
Okay. Somehow manages to get transport and clothing to pass himself off as a normal person all the way to her apartment.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing how he got away with that, but I think that there's a lot I think she lives in New York City. Which would mean when Jason goes to New York...
I assumed it was always in New England.
It comes full circle. These movies, I think, were shot in New Jersey.
Same thing.
I think.
No.
We don't have any paper or research with us. We're just going off the cuff.
There are electronic devices in which one can look things up. We choose not to. We'd rather just bullshit with each other.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I just burped.
And we also like to argue. We're grown-ass men who like to argue about some cheesy movies from the 80s.
Yeah, which is also kind of what you guys are doing right now, just listening to this.
So, David, what's your favorite? What's your top 2?
2 and 1, in that order.
Okay, I would put 1.
See, you hate the whole the compromise, the integrity compromise when you bring Freddy into it, and I like that. Because Nightmare on Elm Street scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Well, first of all, I am a fan of the Nightmare series as well.
I know this.
1 and 3, I think, are the best.
I'm going to go with Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors is 3.
As the greatest horror movie of all time.
But New Nightmare is amazing.
What was 4?
4 was like the Dream... There's Dream Warriors and then the Dream Masters.
I'm a Dream Master.
And it's fine. It's fine.
What's the one where... Dream... I'm thinking of 3.
Yeah.
As quintessential 80s horror movie.
It has Heather
Camp?
Yeah. And then she gets killed by Freddy.
Son of a bitch. Then how is she alive whenever Freddy versus Jason happens?
She's not.
She's in the movie.
Is she?
Yeah.
No, she's in the New Nightmare.
That's what I'm thinking of. New Nightmare.
That's the fourth wall breaking
The
one.
meta.
Where Robert Englund plays Robert Englund and she plays Heather. And
okay, just to you guys listening, Josh is the expert. I am the novice or apprentice, if you will. I don't like apprentice because I'm not a bitch, but I'm the novice.
You're contributing, and I think that's what matters.
Yeah, sit on my film.
But let's stay on Friday.
Right. Sorry.
First of all,
you can't help but bring in Nightmare because they cross streams.
Yeah, I think Friday Part 1 has to be in the top 2, just as respect.
That's why it's my number 2.
And it set the mold.
I would make the
it's
argument
my number
it's the
2
best.
too. But
I would make the argument it's the best because holy shit, it's not some male murderous psychopath whacking people.
Yeah.
Halloween. Can you hear me? I'm talking about you. It's a female.
Yeah. No,
it goes back to your
it's an excellent film. But the only reason it's not my number 1 is because I think number 4 is amazing. You got Corey Feldman. You got the kid. It comes full circle. You got the iconic mask. You got good Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover might actually be a reason that it sucks.
Part 4 is the only one where the people getting killed actually have any personality.
No, I disagree.
I mean, broad strokes.
Part 2 would disagree with that.
Yeah, that's true. Part 2 has some good stuff, but
You got the wheelchair athlete, who's the not hand job. That's the wrong word. Arm wrestling champion.
yeah, that's right.
And you've got
Good death, by the way. Go,
you know what's
roll
funny?
down the stairs.
Okay, so watching it recently,
Yeah,
it was a great death.
Yeah.
Watching it recently, the hand job arm wrestling guy, I assume hand job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same set of skills.
His girl goes on to put on these like sexy panties.
I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, right? You
Yeah.
remember that as a child,
Yeah.
thinking, "Holy shit, that's so hot!" Look at them now; they're granny panties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything old is old again.
and everything old is dead.
Yeah. We all die.
But
It's sad.
part 3, which I'd like to deconstruct, if you will. a bit
It's
more.
awful.
It's so bad.
It could have been so good.
You had so much room
Yeah.
to play. You had the biker gangs.
You had the jokester, the guy with the kid. Every good.
You had the jokester, the prankster.
Yeah.
He was wearing the mask. That's
Every-
where Jason got his mask.
Every good slasher movie has to have several elements. The jokester, the guy, the kid who's going to die even extra bad because he's playing pranks on everybody.
Yeah.
You got to have the storyteller.
Spear gun to the face.
You got to have the storyteller. The guy's like, this camp has a long history. And
It's so weird because you're aptly describing part 2.
yeah, I like part 2 a lot.
It's got all the elements.
I'm saying part 4 is even better.
Who's the jokester in part 4? Corey Feldman?
Not Corey Feldman.
Is he the one that dead or is
buddy.
Hain dead?
No. Crispin Glover's buddy who's watching the porno and gets killed through the screen watching the porno.
Not funny.
I like it.
Not funny.
Crispin Glover. And okay, so
I'm not in love with Crispin Glover. I think he's kind of a dick. I saw the kick on David Letterman. For those of you who don't know, whenever Crispin Glover was on David Letterman's show years and years ago,
he was high or something.
he almost kicked David Letterman in the face. And now that I'm a fan of David Letterman, fuck Crispin Glover. Also, he refused to do Back to the Future 2.
There was a contract suite. Did you ever see heck. It had Keanu Reeves in it with Crispin Glover.
The
Great-
Matrix?
No, it's from the 80s.
Point Break.
River's Edge, called The River's Edge.
Nah, I never saw it.
Great little movie. Little joke. Anyway, let's discuss the elephant in the room. The thing.
My pregnancy?
Well, I was going to wait till the second trimester to bring it up. That's just good etiquette.
But no, it's proper etiquette to wait. You're right.
Pardon me.
Sorry.
Thank you for correcting my grammar, David.
Sorry.
I love part 5.
Why?
So, David, make the con argument about part 5.
Okay, see, I get them confused only because there's 12 of them. Is part 5 where...
It's not really Jason.
No, I don't remember part 5.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
I've smoked a lot of weed in my life.
Because at the end of part 4, Corey Feldman kills Jason.
Okay.
Because remember, at this point...
Oh, that's the one where you have the psychic.
No, that's part 7.
Damn it.
Part 7 is... I actually like part 7. I don't love it, but I like it.
The little blonde girl.
Yeah.
Like
and then she makes her
Patricia Arquette, I think?
No, you're thinking of the Nightmare movies. Patricia Arquette was in the Nightmare movies.
Was she a psychic in them?
No, she was just really good at fighting Freddy.
Kids, don't do drugs.
Do drugs, but write stuff down. Seriously, write it down.
Okay, part 5. It's not Jason. It's
a
Jason
copycat.
pretender.
It's a copycat.
All right.
And they got that that they've used the camp for some troubled youths.
See, that sounds familiar.
But it's got the best kills, and it's got the best tits. Honestly, I mean, they're actually one of the actresses in it. The actress's last name is Voorhees.
That's good casting.
And she's just gorgeous. I mean, she's probably 60 now. I don't care.
You have to talk for a minute because I got to let the dogs in.
David's going to let the dogs in.
That's not a euphemism for taking a shit. I really have to let my dogs in.
I'm just going to expound on my point about the different kind of characters you need in a good slasher movie. Of course, you need, like we said, the jokester. You need the storyteller, the guy who's going to do the exposition.
Any movie with Corey Feldman that's not called The Lost Boys is a horrible movie.
David just said any movie with Corey Feldman that's not The Lost Boys is a horrible movie. I disagree because I'll wait till Dave gets back. That being said, you also have to have the final girl, and we are going to discuss what makes the best final girl. Another good film that you might want to see is called Night of the Demons, because it follows all the templates of a good horror slasher film from the 80s. But it also is unique in the fact that the black guy lives. The black guy not only lives, he's the hero, basically.
Did you say black guy without lips?
I did know, but I was actually talking to the folks about the concept of the final girl. And I thought it'd be fun to discuss what makes a great final girl and what's the significance of that character.
Oh, the last survivor?
Yes, and it's always a woman, young woman, always a young woman.
Has to be.
Virgin.
Filmmakers are saying something whenever the final survivor is a female.
Yeah.
Females will always live. Men, with our penises, have to die.
But the woman has to be virginal and virtuous. The slut dies.
Slut dies first.
I mean, quote unquote slut. We don't mean anything.
No, we don't mean sluts die first. We just mean the slut in a horror movie is going to die first. You know why?
Yeah.
Because she's a slut.
Right.
Because she's giving it up. Every horror movie is a tale about premarital sex.
So are they morality plays?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. But they also have a feminist angle to it, don't you think?
As they should.
Yeah.
Only because women have been fucked over for like 15,000 years of recorded civilization.
And the killer is always sexually dysfunctional.
Has to be. Why is he killing?
Yeah. Jason is...
What's the pathos?
He's a man-child. He has no sexual identity. Freddy was a pedophile.
Yeah.
You know, which... It's kind of fucked up. He became an iconic character. He was a child murderer.
He was a fucking pedophile.
I don't mean teenager, and not 20-year-old actors playing teenagers. He killed kids.
Yeah. And then his ass got killed.
Yeah.
That's a great backstory. Okay, kid drowning in a lake. I know we don't want to go on Nightmare. Kid drowning in a lake, and then the mother getting revenge, and then him ultimately getting revenge. A pedophile who was caught and thrown into a fucking furnace and burned and then haunts nightmares. John Carpenter, right? Or was it Wes Craven?
Wes Craven.
Yeah, sorry.
You're thinking of Halloween.
I'm thinking of, yeah.
Which set the template for all the movies we're talking about.
It did. Without Halloween, we wouldn't have this podcast.
And then you could also agree with Texas Chainsaw Massacre before that. But the granddaddy...
Oh my God, that was... Why don't we talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
But the granddaddy's Psycho.
Yeah. And John Larroquette was the narrator.
Of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Did you see Texas Chainsaw? I know you saw part 2. Where he's like winning awards for his chili.
Yeah.
God damn.
No, they always try to go... And at some point in all these series, they got to go meta and they got to go jokey.
Yeah.
Part 2 of
Texas... At some point, you stop taking yourself seriously. Sorry to interrupt.
Part 2 of Texas Chainsaw Massacre you mentioned. In the Nightmare movies, I'd say Part 4 starts to get too jokey.
Yeah.
You can totally forget that Freddy is just a pedophile.
Which he was.
And he just becomes like a jokester. And then I think, and the reason I think I hate...
Yeah, because, okay, why would you go back? Why would you spend more money and buy a ticket to a movie where the main character throughout isn't a little bit funny?
Yeah, I understand. But he becomes
No, it's fucked up in the way you're thinking. No, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. That's pretty fucked up. Like, we're rooting for the pedophile.
Yeah. And I think that's why I don't like Part 6 of Friday the 13th, because that's when they get meta.
What is Part 6 again?
Part 6 is the one where they reanimate him, but with lightning by accident.
Oh, no. My favorite kill of all the series. In Part 6, early on in an RV, there's a guy and a girl going at it.
That's right. And he gets killed in the...
And he shoves his head through the fucking, through the wall.
Yeah.
So, you see this guy's face coming through the wall of an RV.
That actor, and guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name.
Was it Adrian Zmed?
No, it was an African-American actor.
No, it was a white guy.
He's with his girlfriend, he goes to the bathroom because he has diarrhea?
No, they're doing it in the RV. Maybe I'm thinking of Part 8.
Part 8 is Jason Takes Manhattan.
Okay, then, no, it's 6. Because, damn it.
He's dressed like Prince.
Maybe.
And like his girlfriend's already dead, but he thinks his girlfriend's playing a trick on him when he's trying to go to the bathroom. And
Yeah.
That guy.
I don't see color, Josh.
He was also in Return of the Living Dead.
I respect your opinion.
Which is a great film.
I don't see color like you do.
Anyway, let's talk about some of the lower tier Fridays.
Well, we talked about Manhattan.
We talked about it a little bit. Why don't you like it?
Because it's stupid. He stows away on a fucking cruise ship and then gets to fucking Manhattan that way. That's just stupid. That's just trying to expand the series for the sake of anyone. Please, anyone buy a ticket and watch this goddamn piece of shit.
My problem with it is also that Joe Bob Briggs makes a great point in his review, his drive-in review.
I want to correct you.
Sure.
Any point Joe Bob Briggs makes is a good point.
Excellent. But vis-a-vis Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, he says, I like the movie once you get to New York, right?
Yeah.
I am paraphrasing. But he's like, the problem with the movie is they thought they had to explain how he got to New York.
He should have just shown up.
You're just in New York. Who cares? It's a Friday the 13th movie. Jason's killing people in New York. I'm happy. Yeah, but once he gets to New York, it gets good.
You know, it's like half the movie is how he gets to New York.
Yeah, I know. But once he gets to New York, it gets pretty good.
Like, they should have committed a lot more resources just to focusing on Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
Instead of Jason gets to Manhattan, takes over Manhattan, and Jason takes Manhattan.
I would really like to see a movie focusing on Jason that discusses his in-between killing life. Like, what's he doing when he's not killing people?
Where does he take a poop?
Where does he take a poop? What's he do when it's off-season at Camp Crystal Lake?
Like during the winter?
Is he just, like, bored in his cabin?
I mean, shit, it's New Jersey, so I mean, they get like 7 months of winter, as we would call in Texas, spring.
I mean, yeah, he probably goes to New York all the time when he's bored.
Yeah. Well, he's got needs,
Yeah.
Josh.
Absolutely.
Jason has needs.
He is sexually dysfunctional because every slasher has to be.
But at the same time, what porn does he look at?
I think he looks at his mom's severed head.
Oh my God, that's wicked. I never thought about that before.
I mean, he's got to have downtime. What's he doing in his downtime?
Do you think he fishes?
He has to eat. Well, not after
Right
he
there on
becomes
the
a
lake.
zombie, he doesn't have to eat, obviously.
No. Which is just, franchise should have ended right there. Once you want to make Jason a zombie, should have just ended right there.
See, I like Part 7 with the telekinetic chick. I like it. It's not great. I like it. Jason goes to Manhattan. There's enough in
Wait, okay, Part 7's where she throws a chain around his neck.
Her dead dad comes out of the lake through her powers of psychicness.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Which is dumb, but I still liked it.
It's original.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do something.
If anything.
But I like Jason Goes to Hell, honestly. I thought it was a good wrap-up.
Is that the one where at the very end, Freddy comes out and...
Yeah, his claw drags the hockey mask into hell.
Oh, kids, don't do drugs.
Absolutely not. But I really liked it, and it had some good kills. I think that one had where he takes the lady in the sleeping bags and bangs her against the tree.
That's Zombie Jason. I don't count him.
Well, be that as it may.
My favorite kill, beyond pushing a head through RV wall, was when it was one or two. Because I mean, really, for me, just me personally, the franchise ends after 2.
Really?
It really ends after 6. But like the campiness that we both love in horror movies, it gets lost after 3.
Yeah.
But there's one where he gets like a leather strap and he wraps it around a dude in front of a tree.
Yeah.
And wraps it around the tree and then just tightens it and tightens it.
Which one is that?
I think it's 2.
I remember what you're talking. Oh, that's a horrible way to go.
That's a horrible way to go.
But I think Part 4 it should have creatively. Of course, it's all just a money grab. It was never meant to be artistically important.
Or was it?
Well, that's the argument, isn't it? But Part 4 would have been a perfect way to end it because that was the last one Tom Savini, the makeup artist, worked on.
They actually intended Part 3 to be the end of it.
Really?
Swear to God.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's kind of funny because that's when he gets his mask.
He should have gotten his mask in 2.
Yeah. Well,
like halfway through.
That would have been nice.
No, not halfway, like last third, he should have had the mask. Then had the mask all the way through 3. And guys, I don't want to insult anyone, but I'm pretty sure Josh and I, in our sleep, getting Blumpkins, could come up with a better version of 3 than the one that exists. Because it's so bad. Are we checking on memory? Checking on battery?
I was just seeing how we're doing on time. I'm glad we have a little time because I want to talk about the other elephant in the room, not just that I like Part 5. Emily the dog.
Laying all over my clothes. Fucking whore.
Just a freeloader from the get-go.
She doesn't pay shit for rent. Yeah, we're talking about you. I saw your leg twitch.
Just a selfish person.
Emily Blue, chili cheese dog. Blue.
I don't think we've talked about Freddy versus Jason.
Okay.
So I don't know where we're going with this. I want to hear your thoughts.
Like who would win?
What were your opinions of the film Freddy versus Jason?
Well, I don't like reconstructing history just to make a movie. Like you've got to establish this is how he died. This is what happened. It's not some fucking carnival. It's not some fucking fair which it was in Freddy versus Jason. It was just him out there, all alone. As far as reconstructing Freddy's history, pedophile.
Yeah, don't forget, he's the bad guy. You're supposed to be rooting for the people who are trying to survive.
Which would have been Jason.
Yeah.
Right? I mean...
Yeah. He never raped any kids. So he's got
never raped any kids.
Also, I'd rather be killed by Jason than Freddy.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no metaphysical implications by being killed by Jason. You just die.
No, I'm not going to wake up in the middle of the night with fucking blood coming out of every orifice that I have, and I'm just fucking dead in my fucking dreams. Jason, you know where you stand.
Yeah. If Freddy kills you, he absorbs your soul. I mean, there's an afterlife implication when Freddy kills you.
Not with Jason.
No. So that's another thing I didn't like about Freddy versus Jason, because there's that one scene, I don't remember, the young lady, she was a wonderful actress who was in Ginger Snaps, great werewolf movie, but she's asleep, and she's being chased by Freddy in her dreams. He's going to kill her. But in real life, Jason kills her before Freddy can, right? Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, well, let's just say you did.
Okay.
And I'm like, I was happy. I was like, oh, good, Jason killed you. You don't become part of Freddy's soul.
Just for the record, I don't want anyone to become part of Freddy's soul.
But yeah, I'd rather be killed by Jason.
Well, okay, personally speaking, just me and all my experiences in life. You all right? You need to charge up there?
I'm good.
You got juice?
I'm listening.
All right. There is a chance I could fuck Jason up. Freddy? No chance.
Yeah, he's supernatural.
No chance. Just supernatural. Freddy's going to win every time. Freddy's in my dream. Fuck, that's it. It's over.
Yeah. You're doomed.
Freddy or Jason? I can take him down a notch.
You can trick him. Remember that one girl in part 2 pretends to be Jason's mom?
I was thinking I could cut his leg off so he couldn't walk. But yeah, that's good too.
Yeah. I mean, you can outwit him. You can't outwit Freddy.
No. You're just fucked.
Yeah.
Once he's there, that's it. It's game over, man. Oh, game over? Ad-libbed.
I know. I read that cracked article too.
We're not officially endorsing crack.com.
We are fans, but please
huge fans.
Subscribe to our YouTube page and watch all our videos and listen to all our podcasts.
If you get lucky, Josh might show you his ass. A lot like Kathy Bates from that one movie with Jack Nicholson.
About Schmidt.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Never saw it.
Oh, I liked it.
Well, I'm heterosexual, so I never saw it.
Okay. You went there with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because you love the cock.
So we're just about out of time. David, you want to have any final thoughts about Friday the 13th or horror movies in general?
Yes. If you are going to go Halloween, set the standard. That's where the bar is. But Friday the 13th Part 2, great investment of time. And if you're asleep and possibly comatose, go ahead and then watch Friday the 13th Part 3.
And I would like to add that if your friends invite you to the abandoned summer camp to go camping,
don't fucking go.
Stay home. You'll be able to watch what happens on the news.
Yeah, because everyone's going to fucking die.
But not you. So this is Josh.
This is Dave.
You have a good night.